In 2019, China tried to hide the Wuhan virus. In 2020, the Wuhan virus was declared a pandemic. In 2021, the Wuhan virus took the world by storm. We are now heading into a new year, 2022. What will the Wuhan virus do in 2022? What will the pandemic look like? What will living with the Wuhan virus look like? And we'll try to answer these questions tonight. Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. The virus from China has already killed 5.2 million people. 257 million others have been affected. This is the kind of damage this virus has done. What will it do in 2022? What if I told you the Wuhan virus will become less dangerous? What if I told you that in 2022, the Wuhan virus won't be able to kill many people? Sure, it would continue mutating. Sure, people will still get infected, but the pandemic will not be as deadly. I say this after accounting for a couple of factors. One is vaccine, two is acquired immunity, and three, the progress in medical science. Let's start with vaccines. These jabs are our best weapons. A lot of us today are shielded against the virus from China. 4.4 billion people have received their first dose. 3.56 billion people have received at least 2 doses. At least 36 countries have rolled out booster shots. So far, we are producing nearly 1.5 billion doses of Wuhan virus vaccines every month. 7 vaccines have already been approved. At least 5 others are awaiting regulatory approvals. As we go into 2022, vaccines will become more accessible. There will be more doses in the market, at least 25 billion shots. And this will help spread the web of defense. I'm not saying these vaccines will stop infections. What these jabs will do instead is break the link between infection and death. What about mutated variants? I'm sure a lot of you want to know whether existing vaccines will still work against mutated variants. The answer is yes. They may not be as effective, but they won't be ineffective. And if it makes you feel any better, in 2022, new vaccines will be made. They will account for the mutated variants, which means the pharma industry will continue raking in the money, but that's a fact we'll have to live with for now. Coming back to mutations, Omicron is the big worry right now. Today, it is the single most feared word. We have so many questions. Is the variant more deadly? Will our vaccines work? Here's what the industry says. Omicron-specific booster shots are possible, and vaccines targeting Omicron will be ready by early 2022. Scientists are working round the clock. Vaccines are being developed at an unprecedented speed, just so that the virus from China can be contained. You know, the polio vaccine took 20 years just to go from early trials to its first licensing. And look how far we've come. 2 years into the pandemic, and a sizable population has got at least one shot injected into their arms. It's a start. But it's not enough to contain a constantly mutating virus. So starting 2022, vaccines may become an annual thing. Adar Poonawala, the Serum Institute chief, says, we would need at least 1 to 2 booster shots every year for the next 10 years. A decade later is when we are likely to become as immune to the Wuhan virus as we are to the common cold right now. In the meanwhile, we would need to continue taking an annual COVID shot. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla agrees. You could call it a pharma conspiracy, but what choice do we have at this point? So booster shots become the new normal in 2022. Here's what else will. Vaccine mandates. Going forward, a lot of countries are likely to make vaccines compulsory, if not for all, at least for a section of professionals. As we speak, vaccines are compulsory for all adults in Indonesia, Micronesia, and Turkmenistan. Vaccines are or will be made mandatory for all government employees and private sector workers in Canada, Costa Rica, Denmark, Egypt, Fiji, Hungary, Italy, Latvia, parts of Russia, Saudi Arabia, Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, and the United States. Vaccines are compulsory for health workers in Australia, the UK, France, Greece, and New Zealand. In 2022, vaccine certificates will become your ID. Countries like Austria, Bulgaria, and the Czech Republic have already banned unvaccinated people from public places. You also need to show a health pass to enter some public spaces in France, Denmark, Lebanon, Morocco, the Netherlands, Romania, and Switzerland. In India, some states require travelers to either be fully vaccinated or furnish an RT-PCR result. The whole idea behind this is to limit the spread of the virus from China, encourage vaccination, and develop an immunity against the virus. Speaking of which, here's another reason why the Wuhan virus will not be able to do a lot of harm in the coming years. acquired immunity. A lot of us have already been infected by the Wuhan virus. This combination of vaccination and infection will help a lot of us repel serious infection. Those who do end up falling sick will have enough medicines to nurse them back to health. You see, when the pandemic started 2 years back, we were experimenting with different medicines, hydroxychloroquine or HCQ, for example. Today, we understand the virus better. We are better equipped to fight it. At least 2 countries have approved this pill. It's called Molnupiravir. This pill is designed to treat symptomatic cases and is the first oral antiviral for the Wuhan virus. Estimates say even before we enter 2022, there will be at least 10 million doses of these pills in the market. And this is just one example of how recovering from COVID or living with COVID will become easier in the years to come. You see, the virus from China is not going away. Till date, we have been able to eradicate just one disease, and that's smallpox. The Wuhan virus is unlikely to be an exception. It's here to stay. So here's what's likely to happen in the years to come. More people will build at least some level of immunity against the virus. There won't be as much spike in infection, and outbreaks will be limited to pockets. As for deaths, an estimate in The Economist says, and I'm quoting, the harm caused may end up somewhere between that of influenza, which kills an estimated 300,000 to 650,000 people annually, and of other coronaviruses such as the common cold. What we will be seeing are people dying from COVID because they have other underlying problems, or because they're old or unvaccinated or cannot afford medicines. So here's the thing, the new normal as we step into 2022 will be living with the virus, a not so deadly virus, but still a dangerous virus. The hangover of the last 2 years will remain, as will the pandemic body. You know, the hair fall, the dry eyes. The virus has left some of us feeling weak, stressed, and battling excessive hair fall. Then there are others struggling with dry eyes because of excessive screen time or a dodgy heel, because for most of the last 2 years, they were at home in flip-flops and without their regular supportive footwear. There are some who are suffering from dental issues because they missed their regular checkups during lockdowns. The pandemic has left us with a lot of unique problems. The effects of these will remain as we head into another year. As we step into 2022, the world will need to address vaccine inequity. Rich countries will have to donate and distribute enough vaccines to the developing nations. Vaccine patents will have to be waived. Children will have to be vaccinated. As we step into 2022, masks will remain, social distancing will remain. There may be occasional lockdowns, as and when clusters and outbreaks are reported. What's more, flexible working will become the new norm. Businesses will bounce back. Travel will bounce back. But your vaccine certificates will become your boarding pass. In 2022, the Wuhan virus will hopefully no longer be a pandemic. It will be reduced to an endemic, meaning it will be confined to certain pockets of the world. There will be seasonal flare-ups, but our lives will be more normal. And by normal, I mean a post-pandemic normal. Stay safe and don't panic.